Namaskar and welcome to this exciting episode of Sathology Debunking Mythology. Sathology means science of truth or study of truth based on a Sanskrit root dhatu of Sat. Opposite of that is mythology. Myth in Sanskrit means a fake lie imagination, and mythology is a science or study of fake lie imagination. Now, why Sathology is important? Sathology is just a branding. History has the truthful history needs to be learned and spread around. And the word Sathology, which stands is a true antonym of mythology, it stands in the way of decolonizing the mind, because mythology, when a native says that according to my mythology, he is already playing into the hands of these academics who are actually destroying the identity. So instead of using the word mythology, which you should completely stop, because most of the people who accuse others of mythology have really got mythology. So our Vedic literatures and the books have untold wisdom, and that's why they should be called Sathology, as in the Western context only. In the Indian context, you can call them Itihas, Purana. There are many different ways you can use it. So, thank you so much for joining, all of you. And I have a very, very special guest, a good friend, and he's always brings out his own unique perspective into it with his own research through inscriptions. That was the most differentiating part from other people. So, let us welcome Dr. M.L. Raja.
Namaskar. Namaskar to all.
Namaskar. So, Dr. Raja, one thing stands out that today you are going to use the astronomical dating from Mahabharata to prove the dates, right?
Yes.
Why astronomy, and what is the difference in astronomy and inscriptions, or do they both match in your
No,
case?
because my view, I am telling, one of the 5 scientific fields to derive date of Mahabharata is astronomy. Others are literature, epigraphy, inscriptions, and archaeology and chronology, Indian eras, and almanacs, everything. So out of that, only one is astronomy, and astronomical dating should be corroborative, harmonious, and coherent with the dating of other fields. And what I am going to narrate in this session is astronomy is one of the 5 fields through which we can derive the date of Mahabharata. And that my uniqueness is I have the only person in the entire world use the astronomical and trigonometric mathematical calculations that were detailed in the ancient astronomical texts of India. Based on that, I, using astronomical events described by Veda Vyasa in the text of Mahabharata, I derived the Mahabharata date. It is an unique thing. Nobody has tried that. Others are trying only through software, the modern software they are using. In that, I have explained in the previous session how I derived the date, what are all the methods I adopted in 3 sessions, continuous sessions in Sathology.
Right. Yes.
But in this one point, I have missed at the time because want of time. That is, somebody is asking after seeing that, why you have preferred astronomical text instead of going for software? You didn't explain in your talk. So for that, because one person has asked me, so for a benefit of everybody, it is my duty to explain that. I cannot just go and read my book. It is not correct. It is my duty. When somebody asks question, when I put forward all my views in the public, if the public asks question, it is my duty to explain. So in that way, I am ready to explain. So I am duty bound to explain. In this session, I am going to narrate. So astronomy is one of the 5 fields, and its findings should be corroborative with other scientific fields, that is literature, epigraphy, mainly inscriptions, archaeology, and also chronology. So in that way, what are the 2 types of astronomical derivation? One is software, one is using astronomical calculations detailed in our ancient text. That is Sathology. So why I prefer that? That I am going to explain in this session.
No, it's very interesting because see, most of the times the Western world doesn't use multiple factors to write or prove their own history. Like, for example, the birth of Jesus. It's a very questionable event now in the Western academic circles. You know, the Indians, they do not question, but the entire Western world is questioning. There's some point is there. Like the example of the shroud, they question the shroud. They even question that why Jesus is shown with a white flowing color when he was born near Africa. Now, all those questions are different. We are not going to talk about in this session, but what a difference I'm making is that the Mahabharata mentions not only the skin color, the process of birth, but every person's astronomical position when they are born. Like Disha was born in the daytime, and there was a 2 hours of the 11 o'clock maybe, and then after that and then the Bhim was born at particular time, and Duryodhan was born 2 hours after Bhim. Like everything is very accurately mentioned with 4 or 5 references. You know, so that means they are more scientific. What do you have to say on that?
Yes, Ji, what you are told is absolutely correct. See, not only Duryodhana, Bhima, and every person's important characters, their birth time is clearly mentioned in Mahabharata text.
Very clearly.
So far, in the entire world, no text has given that much accuracy and particular precisely the birth time of the important personalities of Mahabharata history. So
Yes.
that is what you are told is absolutely correct, Ji. That is there in Mahabharata text of Vyasa. I have read, so I have to accept your view. That is the actual fact.
So let's get started, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay. Shall I share now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
We can see clearly.
Okay. Shall I start or you want to tell anything? You
Please start. Yeah.
Okay, Ji. Vanakkam, Namaskar. I express my thanks to Aditya Ji and also the volunteers of Sathology and the eminent professors, scholars and students of different universities of United States of America. I express my pranams and heartfelt thanks to one and all. In this session, I am going to narrate the date of Mahabharata I derived. I have explained in Sathology itself in 3 continuous sessions. In that, I explained what method I have used. So that is, it is not software. It is entirely based on the astronomical constants, astronomical calculations, and trigonometric mathematical calculation. That is sine theta, cos theta, versine theta calculations that were adopted in the ancient astronomical texts like Surya Siddhanta, which is much older than 10,000 of years, and other texts, Aryabhatiyam, Vadeswara Siddhanta, and Lakhu and Mahabhaskara, Siddhanta Shiromani. Many texts explained all these things. Brahmagupta's Brahmasputa Siddhanta, Shishya Dividida Tantra, everybody explained. So I have adapted that method. So it is my duty to explain the august audience and also the professors and eminent scholars why I have, instead of preferring software, why I have preferred that method. So in this session, I am going to narrate about that. So using software, I would have done very easily because I have to invest a few lakhs of rupees, a good laptop or computer, and a good internet connection and astronomical software I have to buy, and some basic knowledge of computer, that is sufficient. So anybody can do if they have all these things. So it is an easy way, just a mouse click or entering the date. The computer and software will give exact positions of Mercury on a particular day, particular time, on such and such day, such and such month, year, the Mercury or Venus or Saturn position is this, and there is an occurrence of lunar eclipse or solar eclipse, like that, it will tell everything. It is just a 5 minutes job. But instead of that, I took a cumbersome procedure. How much it is hard procedure is, all the texts are written in Sanskrit. So I got to understand Sanskrit first. Then all the mathematical calculations are given in a sloka form, that is sutra form, very short form. For example, to understand the method to calculate the positions of Mercury and Venus, it is different from Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter. Why our ancestors, these ancient astronomical texts, mention two different calculations for these two, one for Mercury and Venus and the other for Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter? Because you can see that in the solar system, Earth revolves around the sun, not only the sun and also Mercury, Venus. Mercury, Venus revolves around the sun within the orbit of the Earth, whereas Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn, they revolve around the sun outside the orbit of the Earth. So there are two different calculations for that. It is explained well in Laghu Bhaskariyam of Bhaskara, 1400 years before itself. So he explained it just two sloka, that is 4 lines in Sanskrit. That was explained in English by more than 4 pages, 5 pages. But to understand each and every step, it took me more than 16 hours to understand that. After that, thoroughly understanding whether it is I have understood correctly, after that assessing that, after that only I applied. Just to derive the date of Mercury or Venus, for me it took 2 to 3 days. That much calculation I have to do. So that calculations are not developed in software also now, because it is entirely different calculations in the ancient days calculation. So it is a very difficult method. Why I have chosen that? Very cumbersome, hard procedure, time consuming, energy consuming. It is not a simple procedure. It is a complicated procedure. So because I want exact result. That is why. Why that alone give exact result, not software will not give exact result. That I got to explain. It is based on 3 points. One is calendar system, second is precision of equinox, and now even the software, the companies, manufacturing companies, they themselves caution that it will not work for a date beyond 500 BCE. Now they have accepted. They have cautioned the users. So because of all these 3, I have preferred ancient astronomical text calculation. One by one, I will explain. First, calendar system. You know, in the software, they either use Julian calendar or Gregorian calendar. This Julian calendar was proposed by Julius Caesar in the year 46 BCE. That is Roman calendar time, AUC time 709, okay, 45 BCE, by a order. What it made, the number of days for 46 BCE is 445 days long. So 45 plus 35, 80 days are long. Normal days is 365.25. How much it is more? You see, this error is already there, inherent error in Julian calendar. If you use Gregorian calendar, because if you Julian calendar, because it is wrong only, they are reformed in Gregorian calendar. So if we again use Julian calendar, you are using a wrong calendar. It is because it gives wrong results only, Gregory changed it. So in 1582, when Pope Gregory XIII, he ordered that the Thursday 4th October 1582 should be followed by Friday 15th October 1582. So 10 days gas gone, somewhere gone into the sky. So that also defective. So it is also defective, Julian calendar and Gregorian calendar also defective. We know only 2 changes. How many times they changed it, that also we don't know. There may be hidden alterations because Europe was in dark age between 500 to 1500 Common Era. nearly 1,000 years dark age. What happened? How many times this calendar altered during that period? Because it is 46 BCE. Again, alteration came in 1582 Common Era. So the nearly 1600 years. So during that 1600 years, what happened? We don't know. How many times it was altered, how many hidden alterations are there. So it is totally defective. Julian, either Julian or Gregorian, it is defective. Inherent defects are there within that calendar system. So that we have to accept. This calendar system only used by softwares. Okay. They either use Julian or Gregorian. Instead of that, I used Bharatian calendar system, that is Indian calendar system. Now I have to prove that it is defective. Okay, we will accept. How much it is correct? That also I got to explain. No, then only I am correct. So it is accurate. No corrections are made since time immemorial. You see, Surya Siddhanta gives the number of days per year, that is solar year, and also sidereal days and solar days per year. Surya Siddhanta is a text. Actually, in the first adhyaya, it mentioned that it was taught to Maya the Asura by an Amsa of Surya, that is Surya Bhagavan's representative, taught the Maya Asura at the end of Krita Yuga. So after that, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga gone, Dwapara Yuga gone, Kali Yuga, many years, 5,000 years, more than 5,000 years has gone. So that much ancient were the Surya Siddhanta. Even in that, the number of days per year exactly given. It is 365.25868. The modern value is 25636. So maybe the Earth's revolution may be little bit faster now. So that we have to understand. So even ancient astronomical texts, more than 10,000 years, they give accurate value. So it is accurate. And no corrections are made. Even after the end, later texts also you see the same value. And it is since time immemorial we are using. And even now the Jataka and Almanacs give since Kali Yuga. That was given. You can verify in many of the person's almanacs, Jataka and also the almanacs published in India. You can see that it is exactly given. And it is natural and astronomic. Whether I am audible, Ji? Whether
Yes,
I
you
am
are.
audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes. Okay. It is natural and astronomic. See how years started, how they calculated. When the sun enters into Mesa zodiac sign, that is into Ashwini Nakshatra. So Ashwini Nakshatra is an ecliptic star, one of the 27 ecliptic stars. When the sun enters into that star, that is at the beginning part of the Ashwini Nakshatra or at the beginning part of Mesa Nakshatra, Mesa zodiac sign, Mesa Rasi, that is the beginning of the year. So beginning of month, when the moon leaves the sun in conjunction and it revolves one round, and again if it leaves that duration, one revolution around the earth, when it leaves the conjunction with the sun, that is Amavasya day, immediate after the completion of the Amavasya, or we can say immediate after the completion of Paurnami, 180 degree away. So it is all astronomical. It is not just or when the sun covers 30 degree, 1/12 part of the circle, 360 degree. So it is natural and astronomic. When the Mesa zodiac sign sun enters, it is the beginning of the Vasanta Ritu also. So it is all astronomical and natural. And you can astonishingly you can found. It will be a surprising to everybody. There is no leap year calculations in Bharatian calendar system. See, in Western calendar system in the year 2000 AD, there were very confusion. Whether because it is divisible by 4 and divisible by 100, whether we have to add one leap year or we should keep February 28. Many calendars were printed after 29, after that they changed, again changed. Like that, confusions are there. In Bharat, in Indian calendar system, there is no leap year. How it was correct? It has been automatically corrected because in India, if the sun enters into Mesa zodiac sign or Ashwini Nakshatra, after the sunset, that day will be counted in the last day of the previous year, Falguna month. If it enters in the before sunset, after sunrise to before sunset, that day will be counted as the first day of the next year. So automatically by natural process itself, that 0.25 is corrected. So we don't know how it is corrected. But when you analyze the almanac, you can come to a conclusion that yes, they have corrected like this. If the almanac will give at what time the sun enters into 0 degree. If it is after 30 Nadika, that year will be counted, that day will be counted in the previous year. So there is no leap year and there is no other confusions. You can understand. And Akargana calculations proved. I have counted Akargana. What do you mean by Akargana, Tiyugana? There will be a reference date on which date the mean positions of the Graha were given at sunrise at Ujjain. Ujjain was the prime meridian on those days till 1885. After that only it was changed to Greenwich. So at Ujjain at 5:30 a.m. Chaitra month, Pratamatidi, Shukla Paksha. That is the reference day. From that day, if you want Graha position for any day, you have to calculate number of days. We are accurate even for number of days. For that only we call Agargana calculations. So not only number of year, even days. Number of days also we are very accurate. And this is proved by ancient astronomical texts given constants, the number of Magha Yuga. Days in Magha Yuga, that is 43,20,000 years, will have the number of days as 157 crore 79 lakhs 17,500 days. Average will be like this. So accurate calculations. And we can see many inscriptions in the first session with the Satyology. That is a pleasant moment for me. In that I have sold many inscriptions that were dated in number of days in Kali Yuga. For example, the Gramam inscription, it mentions the Kali year as 4,044 and Kali days as 14,77,037. If you divide this number with this, it will give this year. Exactly this will give here. You can calculate. So even the inscriptions inscribed on the rock or copper plate, they know number of Kali day on the day of inscription from the beginning of the Kali day, Kali Yuga, on the day of Kali Yuga. So that is an important thing. And even now, if you almanac, you can watch, you can verify a few years, 10 years of almanac, if you take the days required for one revolution of sun by the earth, it doesn't give 365 days, 0.25636 as like that. 365 days will be there. But in some year, it will be 13 Nadika and some year in 22 Nadika. So each year, the Earth's velocity varies. So the number of Nadika varies. 2.5 Nadika is 1 hour. You can calculate from 4 hours to 8 hours. Like that, it changes, 7 to 8 hours. So that is the thing you can understand. How much accuracy was there for each and every year in Bharatian calendar system. We are not using average number of days and we are calculating days. So each year we are calculating what is the speed of the earth, the velocity of the earth. Based on, we allot how many days and hours for the earth to complete 360 degree. Earth's revolution on the sun only imposed on sun and we are taking as the sun's revolution. So in that way we are taking. So that is the superiority of the Indian calendar system and it is adapted by ancient astronomical texts of India. That's why I preferred Indian calendar system than the Julian and Gregorian calendar, which has inherent defects in itself. That is the first point. Then coming to the second point, the precision of equinox. What is precision of equinox? In the figure I will show. See, this is vernal equinox. As per the modern science estimation, this is not fixed. It drifts backwards. That is yellow line and this line is cutting each other. That is vernal equinox. And this is autumn equinox. These two cutting points are drifting backwards. So that is known as precession of equinox. Equinox is going backward. So it is precession of equinox. So based on that, I got to explain. The present day velocity for the precession is 50.27 seconds of arc. Every year it changes by 50.27 seconds. So that is less than 1 minute of arc. That is 1 by 60th of a degree, less than 1 by 60th of a degree, even less than that, maybe 1 by 80 or 90 of a degree. But the value of precision on 14th April 2021 in seconds of arc by many scholars, what they give. For Lahiri, it is 24 degree, 9 minutes, 14 seconds. But Raman, a famous astrologer from Bangalore, he gave it is 22 degree, 42 minutes, 35. And KP, other thing, they give different value. So there is no uniformity of precision of equinox value even now, 2021. Nearly 1.5 degree changes were there. Which one we have to accept? That we don't know. And velocity of the precision of equinox. For example, Surya Siddhanta gives 54 seconds of arc. Manjula Acharya in his Laghu Manasa gives 60 seconds of arc. Kalidasa in his Jyotirvidabharanam gives 60 seconds of arc. But modern value is 50.27, much below Surya Siddhanta, Laghu Manasa and Jyotirvidabharanam. That shows there is no uniformity of the velocity. That's why the value varies with various authors. They would have taken something 52 or somebody has taken 50.27 or 51 seconds. Because of that, the Ayanamsa value varies. And the zero, because of that, 0 year of degree of precision, that is when there is no precision. That is this cutting point is exactly at 0 degree Mesa. There is no backward precision or forward. So that is 0 degree precision. So what is that when the 0 degree precision occurred? See, these are all the values given by Kalidasa. He gave in 105 BCE in Jyotirvidabharanam. That is 445 Sakayara. Varahamihira give it is 1st century BCE in Brihat Samhita. But Lahiri, what is his value? You can see. B.V. Raman value, Krishnamurti, P.C. Roy, Sami Kannu Pillai, and Western authors. One author gave 0 BCE. That is 532 years is the difference from Sami Kannu Pillai. So that much was the difference. So there is no, not even consensus on the 0 degree of precision here. So that also, even the velocity differs and also the value differs. 0 degree precision also differs between authors. Then which one we have to take? That is one thing. And this precision velocity value, whether it is mentioned in ancient astronomical texts or Mahabharata texts of Vedavyasa, because we are calculating the date for Vedavyasa's Mahabharata war only, based on his text. But it is not mentioned by Vyasa in his text. He not even mentioned in not even a single place the precision value, how many degrees, and the velocity, how many seconds apart. He didn't mention. What he mentioned? He mentioned the Nirayana position of the Graha. That is without taking precision of equinox into account. He used Nirayana. Nirayana, Ayana is the precision of equinox. Nirayana, without that, without Ayana, they are calculating Graha position. That will I will explain. Sa Ayana, Sa is with the precision of equinox. So, Vedavyasa give Nirayana positions only. All the ancient astronomical texts, for my reference book, that also, Graha Lagam by Ganesha Daivagna, that also give Nirayana Graha position only. No ancient astronomical texts give Sayana position. They are not given precision value, velocity, but they express the Graha position in Nirayana. Surya Siddhanta mentioned further one step that it is not precision of equinox, but it is oscillation of equinox. That is from 0 degree Mesha, the equinox will go like this 27 degree forward, then again go back 27, then again 27, then come to forward. So there is an oscillation like a pendulum. It goes like this, it goes like this. What precision of equinox mentions Western science? It goes like this, it goes like this, come like this. So this is oscillation of equinox, that is precision of equinox. So Surya Siddhanta mentioned like that. And we have to know only after 200 years. That is the average value of precision is 24 degree, minus 24 degree. It has to reach minus 27 degree. Then only we know whether it goes minus like that 30, 35, 40 or 60, or it goes front, forward, oscillating. So it can come to know only after 200 years, nearly 200 or more years. When it reaches 27 degree only, we can assess whether it is going backward or it is oscillating. Because for the 5,000 years, for the past 5,000 years, it is from the 27 degree plus 27 degree, it reaches 0 degree backward and it is going backward up to minus 24. So nearly more than 50 minus degree, it has gone. So it is nearly 3,500 years or 500 years. 5,000 years, 3,500 to 5,000 years, it is going back. So modern science, because that it is constantly going back, it estimates that it is going back only. But Surya Siddhanta says it is only oscillation. Whether it is oscillation or precision, only we can know it after 200 years only. And the software, all the software calculations are based on the assumption that it is only precision. The equinox constantly going backward only at the rate of 50.27 seconds apart throughout the past. They are calculating that with the constant value 50.27 seconds apart throughout the past. Now, the present year is applied even to the year of Mahabharata war. But I have already shown ancient astronomical texts, the various values 54 to 60 seconds. Even in modern science also, they show the precision of equinox value is not constant for every year. You see how it alters. It is 0, so it comes down above, goes like that. Much higher, the graph is there. Curve is much higher, much low. So it is not constant. It varies with the time. So we cannot apply the present day value of 50.27 seconds to the period of Mahabharata. So if we apply, it will definitely lead to error. That is the thing. And further, I have to explain now what is Nirayana and Sayana, what is its application in the season. That I have to explain. See, in Bharatian Indian zodiac signs, it is fixed. Mesa 0 degree is fixed and not moving. It is always at the beginning of Ashwini Nakshatra. Ashwini, Bharani, Krittika, Rohini, Tiruvadirai, Mrigashiridam, Punarvashu, Pushyam, Ayulyam. Like that, all the 27 Nakshatra will go. So, because as far as Earth is concerned, all the stars are not moving fixed. That we should understand. It's accepted by modern science, and also it was revealed by Aryabhatta in Aryabhattiyam. Achalani Bani. Bani means stars. Achala means not moving. Achalani Bani. So all the stars are fixed as far as Earth is concerned. Why I am using as far as Earth is concerned? Even the Milky Way galaxy is going around the center of the universe. So as stars also moving, but when we consider Earth, they are stationary. So Ashwini Nakshatra is fixed. So based on Nakshatra only, we divide this 12 zodiac sign. So Mesa 0 degree is fixed. So when the sun is in conjunction with Ashwini, it is the earlier part of Mesa Rashi, and it is always the month of Chaitra. That I will explain. Suppose when the earth is here and sun is in conjunction with Ashwini Nakshatra. Ashwini Nakshatra will be here. Why there are 27 Nakshatra? See, This is sun and earth is revolving around this. And we are taking 30 degree above, 30 degree below. It is a belt, like a belt we wear on the pant. It will be a belt. Okay. It is known as, this line is known as ecliptic. That is the pathway in which the earth revolves around the sun. And this belt is known as ecliptic belt. And we are taking only the stars that were situated in this ecliptic belt. It is not, if it is situated, it doesn't mean earth is here, it is also situated here. Not like that. Earth and moon will be here. Moon will be 3,84,400 kilometers from earth, and sun is 14 crore 96,000 away from earth. But these stars will be in the same horizontal plane somewhere else, maybe distant by lights of years, few lights of years, not exactly here, but it is in the same ecliptic belt. This is the belt. In this horizontal plane only they are situated. So we are taking those nakshatra only, not these nakshatra which is at zenith or at Nicha position in the southern part or here. We are not taking. Why we are not taking that? All the nakshatra. You have to take all the nakshatra, no. But why we are considering only nakshatra that are situated in the ecliptic belt alone? Because you can see earth is revolving around the sun in this ecliptic pathway, this yellow line. And moon is also revolving around the earth, and it also moves along with the earth. So not only moon revolves around the earth, it also revolves around the sun also. And when moon is here, the nakshatra in the ecliptic belt, I have shown in the previous picture, either here or here, maybe thousands of light years or few light years here. It may be here or here like that. So this moon, which is in ecliptic plane, that is horizontal plane, and this nakshatra, and the earth, and the sun, all the four things will be in the same horizontal plane, and the moon will be in conjunction with that nakshatra. So because of the conjunction of the moon and nakshatra, it has an effect on earth, not only nature things, but also living beings, especially human beings. So that's why when moon is in this nakshatra, when a child born on that nakshatra, that is his Janma nakshatra. When the moon is situated in this zodiac sign, that is his Janma Rasi. So that nakshatra will have effect on his character and his behavior, everything. So it has its own influence. Not a nakshatra situated here. It will not be in conjunction with the moon. It is not in the horizontal plane of sun, earth, moon, and this nakshatra. That's why we are taking only these nakshatra which are situated in the same horizontal plane of sun, earth, moon, and all these things. They alone have effect on that. So we are divided this pathway into 27 nakshatra group. If we say Ashwini nakshatra, that doesn't mean only one nakshatra is there in this area. So it is a group of nakshatra. Out of that, prominent will be Ashwina. That is Yogatara nakshatra, junction star. We are naming that 13 degree 20 minutes part in the name of that nakshatra. So there are 27 nakshatra, and 2 nakshatra and 1/4 of the nakshatra form one zodiac sign. That is 30 degree. 13 degree 20 minute into 2.25. If you multiply, it gives 30 degree. So we divided this area into 12 zodiac signs based on this nakshatra. That's why we consider this ecliptic as an important landmark, not this celestial equator. Why? What is this celestial equator? Because Earth is tilted like this by 23 degree 27 minutes. It is not like this. So because it is tilted like this equator of the earth, that is also not in this horizontal plane, but it will be like this, 90 degree to this. That's why this celestial equator, it is nothing but the extension of Earth's equator into the sky. So it is also tilted like this. So this celestial equator and the ecliptic will cut at 2 points, either here or here. Both points it can. This is the angle. That is 23 degree 27 minutes. When it cut here, it is known as vernal equinox, because after that there will be Vasanta Ritu, vernal or spring equinox. Spring will be cut. When it cuts here, it is autumnal equinox, because after that it will be Sarad Ritu or autumn, autumn season. So that's why this is two important points. And another 2 point is this one. This is summer solstice. The much distance from this ecliptic. Here it is 0, here it is 23.27. This is summer solstice and this is winter solstice. This we have to understand. What is the difference between Western system or modern science system and ours? We mainly take this ecliptic as an important thing, because on that ecliptic plane, what nakshatra is situated, that has influence on human beings. So we bothered about the human beings' development, their Atma Moksha, that we for bothered. So our ancestors took that. But Western system, they gave importance to this cutting point. When it moves back, their zodiac sign also moves. So now our Mesa still here. Mesa or zodiac sign is still here. But Aries, because equinox is here, 24 degree, they are saying our Mesa starts here, their Aries starts here. So Aries and Mesa are not equal. It is 24 degree, minus 24 degree. That is at the Bhadrapada Nakshatra. So when the earth is here, the sun will be in conjunction with Ashwini Nakshatra and Mesa zodiac sign. That is Chaitra month for us. Why it is Chaitra month? Because when sun is in Ashwini, moon will be in Chaitra Nakshatra. See here. At that time, there will be Paurnami, full moon. So we named the month after the full moon nakshatra. So when sun is here, moon will be here. When see from earth, moon will be in conjunction with Chaitra nakshatra. There will be Paurnami, that is full moon. So we named it as Chaitra month. So we named it that also scientifically and astronomically. So this is for us this Ashwini nakshatra, and this is for us Mesa zodiac sign. So this is for us Chaitra month. But now this Aries is at 24 degree. So in Chayana month, when earth is here itself, moon will be, the sun will be here. That is Bhadrapada Nakshatra. So Uttarar Purva Bhadrapada. So this, what is this month for us? It is Palguna month for us. Palguna month. Because it is Meena zodiac sign. So when sun is in Meena zodiac sign, it is definitely Palguna month. So for 0 degree vernal equinox is now in Palguna month. But this Ritu, it depends on this cutting point. See, this cutting point only decides which one is the season. So when this cutting point changes here, the Vasanta Ritu, instead of starting from here, it will start from here itself. That instead of starting from Vasanta Ritu here, it starts from here. This Ritu depends on the tilting of this axis. So when this moon is, earth is here, sunlight will be like this. So it is Vasanta Ritu. So Vasanta Ritu starts from here itself. That is Aries point, not from Mesha. So when the precision of equinox goes like this, Vasanta Ritu will start even in Magha month, not in Chaitra month. So, but what in Mahabharata, they say Mahabharata what happened some 5,100 years before, or somebody says 7,500 years before. That is more than 5,500 BCE. So in that, because precision equinox is going back like that, if you go back in the year, equinox will be further in the forward position. So in 7,500, equinox will be here. So this is Ashada month. So Ashada month will become Vasanta Ritu. That is important thing. Not Chaitra month become Vasanta Ritu. So when we apply precision of equinox, And if we calculate Mahabharata date based on precision of equinox, this season definitely should change. So Sarad Ritu will not be here. Only if Vasant Ritu is here, Sarad Ritu will be here. When Vasant Ritu moves forward, Sarad Ritu will move here. That is in Pushya and Magha month. So Vasanta Ritu will be in Ashada and Shravana month, and Sarad Ritu will be in Pushya and Magha month. If we apply a date of Mahabharata 7,500 years. Why? Because precision of equinox, they calculate 50.27 seconds of arc. It will go back 1 degree in 71.6 years. So if we apply, definitely in 7,500 years, it would have covered 90 degree. This is 90 degree. Each quadrant is 90 degree. So it will be in Ashada month only. Because we are back calculating, no. Precision has moved from here only here. In the forward, when we advance in years. If we go back years in the ancient period, precision would have stayed here. So Ashada month will be here. But this Ashada month become the Vasanta Ritu. Because this equinox is here. So Ashada and Shravana month will be Vasanta Ritu, and Pushya and Magha month will be Sarad Ritu. That is an important thing. So this is the difference between Nirayana and Sayana. Nirayana is we are not calculating, Ayana taking into account. Sayana is we are taking into account. If we take into account of Sayana and precision of equinox, then definitely the seasonal months will differ. That we came to understand because of this. But in Nirayana month, Bharatian months will be same. And also Surya Siddhanta mentioned that it is not only 27 degree. This equinox goes like this, again comes this. So it cannot go here, equinox. It will just go move 27 degree forward and 27 degree backward. So the equinox moves here, again comes here, like up to this, again comes here. So the months will not change. So oscillation of equinox, if we apply, the season will not change. But we apply precision of equinox and calculate a date that is 7,500 years before, definitely the seasonal months will change, and Vasanta Ritu will be in Ashada and Shravana. Why I am repeating, after that you can understand. This is Sarad Ritu is in Pushya and Magha month. That we have to see. See, this calculation based on this moon's conjunction with nakshatra. We think it is our ancestors' idea, may not be scientific, but it is scientific. That after explaining, I come to the change of months. This is Earth, and India has launched the Chandrayaan in the 22nd October 2008. It revolves around multiple orbits around the Earth, and it reached the moon, and it revolves around the moon and the final orbit at 100 kilometers. But when we launched Chandrayaan, moon was here. But because we launched on 22nd and it reached on 14th November. So there are 22 days gap. So in those days, 22 days, moon has moved here. So how to understand that moon has moved here? We cannot, here moon, when we launch moon only here, there is an empty space. How can we launch towards this? Because here we used this fixed stars as the reference point. Like how our ancestors used the ecliptic stars to know which day nakshatra, which is Janma Rashi. The same technique, Janma Nakshatra, that is used by our scientists. So they know that on 22nd day, moon will be in conjunction with the, maybe they used Western name, not Aswini, Bharani, Kartiya, but they used this ecliptic star. They used only ecliptic star. So they directed this Chandrayaan towards that ecliptic star. So moon will reach at that on that day in conjunction with that ecliptic star. So it will reach. For one thing, extra point, but India has not ensured this, and they did first time it's a success. In Mars trajectory also, we launched in first 12 December 13th, Mars trajectory going round like this. But on the day of launch, Mars was here. And when it reaches the satellite to Mars, Mars was here. It moved from here to here. Here also, we used only the stars as the eclipse, because Mars also revolves in the same, maybe 3 or 4 degree only difference between the Earth's revolution around the sun. So we used the same star as the reference point. So with this, I don't understand that from the Indian almanac or Indian astronomical test they adopted. That is not my point. Because even in modern science is using the same technique with reference to eclipse star. Our ancestors in India, they also used the moon's conjunction with the ecliptic star. So they used it even 10,000s of years before itself, the same scientific method. So their method is scientific. That we have to understand. That is the point of mine. So this another thing, before coming to the seasonal change, I want to mention these two things. That is this Kadaka Rekha, that is Tropic of Cancer, and the Tropic of Capricorn. We call it as Tropic of Capricorn as Makara Rekha, and Tropic of Cancer as Karkataka Rekha. So this is not constant. Even modern science accepts that it varies from 22.1 degree to 24.5 degree. It moves like this up to 24.5. Again, it decreases and reaches 22.1 degree. And again, it moves up. So it increases, decreases in an oscillation position only. That means Earth's axis tilt. Now tilt is 23 degree, 27 minutes. That is 23.5. But the tilt itself is oscillating. Some years it is 22.1 and it gradually increases, the tilt increases to 24.5 and the tilt again decreases. So it is only an oscillation. Modern science estimated 41,000 requires for one complete revolution, oscillation. I am saying this equinox changes is also like this. It is only oscillation from 0 to 27 to again 27 back. When we accept this oscillation, when we accept the Earth axis is tilting, and what is ecliptic and celestial equator, it is because of the tilting of the Earth. That's why there is cutting point. You see? See, the Earth ecliptic equator is tilted, Earth's axis is tilted, and that's why celestial equator is like this, and Earth revolves around the sun in horizontal plane. That's why there is angle. That is this Tropic of Cancer is at 23.5 degree and Capricorn is at 23.5 degrees south. So this tilt changes from here to here. So when the Earth axis tilt like this also moves like this. So this is only expressed here. So what I think is Surya Siddhanta's oscillation of equinox is absolutely correct as per the oscillation of this tilting of the Earth and oscillation of the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So it is also scientific. So now coming to the seasonal variation. Sauter uses Julian and Gregorian program and precision of equinox. So this, as per this precision of equinox, this equinox, vernal equinox, will go back by all the round in 360 degree in 25,772 years, because at the rate of 1 degree in 71.6 years. It moves 1 degree in 71.76 years. So to take complete revolution, it takes 25,772 years. So this is the thing. So as per precision of equinox, I have already repeatedly told that Vasanta Ritu will be in Ashada and Shravana month, and Sharad Ritu will be in Pushya and Magha month. If we take any Mahabharata date 7,500 years before, that is beyond 5,500 BCE. But what about the internal evidence of Mahabharata? Whether it accepts the seasonal changes. That we have to see. Then only we can accept. But what Mahabharata text in the Udyoga Parva in the 83 Adhyaya 7th Shloka means, it is Kartika month and the season is end part of Sarad Ritu and Hemant Ritu. And Vana Parva mentioned it is Sarad Ritu and it is Kartika month. You can see. If it is Saitra month, Saitra, Vishaka, and Jeshta, and this is Ashada, and Shravana, after that Shravana, Kanya month, that is Kanya month, and Asvayuja, Bhadrapada, and then Kartika month. So the Sarad Ritu is here from Asvayuja and Kartika month, as per Mahabharata. But what I have told, Sarad Ritu will be here. That is in Pushya and Magha month. But Mahabharata text says Sarad Ritu is in Asvayuja and Kartika month. Definitely here only. That means Vasant Ritu is here, Saitra and Vishaka month only. Not here. So it totally disagrees with the date 7500 before here. That is using the precision of equinox. That is the definite thing. So Mahabharata text itself disproved any date beyond 7500 years if they used to precision of equinox to calculate that date. So Mahabharata text and seasonal month disagrees with this using a precision of equinox to calculate Mahabharata date. What is the correct method to derive is the date of Mahabharata war is through astronomical texts where Nirayana positions are used. Because my reference book is Nirayana and Veda Vyasa also gives the Nirayana position. So from Nirayana I am calculating Nirayana. For there is no role to play the precision of equinox here in this calculation. But if we use software they are developed with the precision of equinox. They describe the positions of the Graha in Sayana only. It is correct for them in the Western world. There it is correct. For the present and to certain extent for the future, it is correct. I am not saying that it is wrong, but it is also scientific. But if we use a date, used to derive a date, that is where the Graha positions are expressed in Nirayana, you got to convert to the Sayana positions given by software into Nirayana. For that, you need precision of equinox value and velocity because it was not expressed in any of the ancient astronomical texts and it was disproved as per the seasonal month change with the internal evidence of Mahabharata. So that is the thing. So we cannot use precision of equinox to derive Mahabharata date. If we use, then it will definitely give wrong date. All the software they use only precision of equinox. For them it is correct. Sayana is correct for them. So that is for them it is correct, but for Mahabharata date it cannot be correct. Because they are calculating only for the present and future, not for the back. If you calculate back, it may also go wrong. So for Ramayana also you can see, I will go fast, Ayodhya Kanda. It mentions Chaitra Ritu month as the Vasanta Ritu. These are all the Vasanta Ritu in Ayodhya Kanda, Kiskanta Kanda, and also even in Sundara Kanda. It mentioned that Vasanta Ritu occurred in Chaitra month. Chaitra month, even in Kiskindha Kanda in the first Adhyaya, 41st Shloka mentioned, Chaitra Masa is mentioned Pushpa Masa because flowers are blossoming in this Chaitra month. Flowers when it blossoms in Vasanta Ritu only. So that's why Chaitra month is itself named as Pushpa month. That is the thing we have to think. And in Sundarakanda, Kima Vyapayena. Vyapaya means disappearance. That is winter season has disappeared and Vasanta Ritu occurred. So that is mentioned and the Asoka tree bent down with flowers. That is mentioned. So Vasanta Ritu definitely in Ramayana period occurred in Chaitra month only. And Varsha Ritu, these are all the evidence. The first month of Varsha Ritu is Shravana Masa. So Varsha Ritu should be in Shravana Masa after Ashada. If you apply this, Ashada month itself is not Grishma Ritu. So, Varsha Ritu will occur in Kartika Masa. But in Ramayana, it mentioned as Sravana month and Bhadrapada month. And Ashada month has already gone. So, this is as per evidence in Kishkinda Kanda. These are all the Sloka and Adhyaya. And Sarad Ritu, Valmiki Ramayana mentioned, that is Kartika month. In Asvina and Kartika. As per Saitra month in Vasanta Ritu and Varsha Ritu in Sravana and Asvayuj, not Sravana, and next month is Bhadrapada, and this Sarad Ritu in Asvayuja and Kartika month. So, what we using same month in the present day, it is given in Ramayana. So, there is no precision of equinox. If there is a precision of equinox, definitely the month would have changed. Not only Ramayana, even in any of the ancient texts. So, we cannot fix the date of Ramayana around 12,000 BCE because at that period, there will be seasonal changes of almost half circle. Because 25,000 years, it is covered 360 degree. So, 360 degree means 12 months, 180 degree means 6 months. The season would have varied by 6 months. Because there is no seasonal changes, we cannot apply precision of equinox there also. Even in Vedanga Jyotisha, no text in the ancient astronomical text mentioned the precision of equinox beyond 27 degree. It mentioned 0 to 27 within that only. That is 23.2, 20 degree in Vedanga Jyotisha. Not less than 27 degree of Surya Siddhanta only. In Varahamihira, Brihat Samhita also mentioned in the ancient period, it is less than 27 degree. So that also mentioned in the same way, 23 degree, 20 minutes. So even if we consider some, they are calculating that this 0 degree Ayanamsa, that is when sun rises exactly in the east, that is Kartika Nakshatra. Kartika Nakshatra begin in 26 degree, 40 minutes. So it is less than 27 degree. Even if we take it into consideration of that point, it may not be correct, but even if we consider that is well within the 27 degree. So nowhere in the ancient astronomical text, equinox is mentioned beyond 27 degree on either side. So that is also should be given much importance. So this is during Varahamihira period. He lived in 1st century and 0 degree Ayanamsa. And Kalidasa mentioned in 105 BCE, 0 degree Ayanamsa. That also I have shown. Varahamihira period, vernal equinox was at 0 degree and autumn equinox was 27 degree, 270 degree. There is no precision or oscillation of equinox. It is 0 degree Ayanamsa. So he definitely lived in the 1st century BCE because Kalidasa mentioned 0 degree Ayanamsa was in 105 BCE. That proved the date of Varahamihira. So Western system uses Sayana to Sayana. They are calculating the reference here in Sayana and the record here in Sayana. So there is no confusion. So for them it is correct for the present and to a certain extent in future. But Bharatian system is Nirayana without accounting for the precision. Hence, if we use Nirayana to Nirayana, no confusion, no error will occur. I have used the Grahalagama gives only Nirayana position. Vedavyas's text also give Nirayana. So I go from Nirayana to Nirayana, not at all considering precision of equinox. Precision of equinox is not forming a part of my calculation. So I have totally eliminated that error. But if we mix Sayana with Indian Nirayana, definitely we have to use what is the value of precision. And that is not conclusively proved what is the precision, exact precision, what is the velocity at Mahabharata period. So errors tend to occur and we cannot even calculate how much is the error. So it will definitely lead to wrong result. So coming to the third point, I am almost coming to a conclusion. As per astronomy software, they themselves cautioned us that its value will not be correct before 500 BCE. This is Graha in solar system. That is moon, which is situated 3,84,400 kilometers. Saturn is the furthest distance, 142 crore 70 lakhs. Even for this beyond 500 BCE, it cannot give correct value. For Arundhati, Vashishta, Alkar, and Misa, they are at the distance of about 80 light years. That is 7 crore 56 lakhs 85,843 crore kilometers for us. Saturn is just 143 kilometers. It is 7 crore 56 lakhs 85,843 crore kilometer. How much error will be there if you calculate, if you apply precision of equinox to calculate the position of Arundhati and Vashishta? Because they calculated the Arundhati Vashishta position using precision of equinox only. They mentioned that in their book only itself. So it will not be correct as cautioned by astronomy software themselves. So because of that only, I have not used that. So because of the calendar system, because of the precision of equinox, cannot be applied to a text which uses positions in Narayana position, and Sayana positions cannot be applied there because we don't know the precision of equinox value, and there are a lot of confusion in the precision also. It may be oscillation also, and software cautioned that it cannot be correct beyond 500 BCE. Based on these 3 points, because of that only, I have used the astronomical text calculations, trigonometric sin theta, cos theta calculations, which are well explained. Actually, the sin theta, cos theta were developed from the bow, arrow, and cord of the ancient Indian weapon that is used by Rama, Sri Rama, and Sri Krishna and Arjuna. So that only developed into sin theta, cos theta, and trigonometry, right angle to triangle calculation, that I will detail in another class. So thank you for watching. And these are all the books which in this all these explanations are given. And I express my heartfelt nandri, dhanyavadaga, and thanks to Aditya ji, especially on the team of Sathology, and also the professors, eminent scholars, and the students of various important universities of ESA. Thank you very much. If there is anything Aditya ji want to add, I welcome it.
No, you made a very strong point on using the shloka for the astronomical observations on the dates, and also the theory behind equinoxes, because that's what is really, people take it very important, because the Mahabharata events are organized around astronomical events, equinoxes, and also I'm very much not familiar with I try to, but I don't get time. I focus more on narrations, but very convincing presentation. And thank you, Dr. Raja, for coming on the show and showing us. Last question I have. So most of the Western academics, they focus on a belief system. You have to believe in them. You have to put blind trust on them. Why is that in the Mahabharata text, so much evidence is given of the historical events?
Because if you see Upanishad is a narration. The Sishya will ask question. Guru has to answer. It is all narrated as question and answer. Because in Indian system, you can ask any questions. Even for the Guru, you can ask questions. You got every right. You have to analyze ourselves. You need not believe what the Rishi says or the other Guru says. You have to analyze on your own. So that knowledge seeking method, analyzing yourself, whether it is correct, whether it is not correct, based on that system only, our life, our literature, everything developed. That's why in Mahabharata, there are a lot of narrations about this, not only astronomy. In many things you found everything is scientific. So our method is to analyze ourselves, to ask questions and get answers rather than blindly believing.
Yeah, I know the Western one, if you ask them this question, whether if you ask it to the Islamism followers or Christianism, I call them Christianism followers, Now they just go on the belief system, whether you have to believe what they're telling you. And if you don't believe, in the earlier times, you were given a death sentence also by the courts. Yeah, it was very common. And that's
See,
how
even
the
when you can ask question to Sri Rama and Sri Krishna. In Ramayana, you see, when Rama killed Vali, Vali asked the question, why you are in a
yes,
hidden thing, you have killed me. So
exactly.
even a monkey asks a king the
Yes.
question. You see?
Yes, the very incident, like he asked
Hmm.
he asked Ram, Bali asked Ram, why did you kill me behind the tree? And
Hmm.
whether it was according to dharma, and Ram says, yes, I am a
Hmm.
Bharatvanshi,
He
and
has
this
to
time
explain.
my Vansh is ruling the planet, and I have the authority on behalf of Bharat to punish you. So that's
See,
very,
Rama is bound to answer his question. He
very,
cannot
very,
just go away without
yes.
answering
And then he proved that it is according to dharma, he is doing the right
it.
thing,
Hmm.
because it is the duty of the king to punish the adharmic activities. And
In Silappadigaram, this Kannaki, when her husband was killed wrongly by the king, he asked a question to the king himself. And king has to answer. When he found that wrongly he killed Kannaki's husband, he died on the spot. You see, even an ordinary citizen can ask question to the king. And
in
when king realized his defect, wrong judgment, he immediately left the world.
in the Western system, and generally even in the colleges, schools and colleges, you cannot ask much questions. I mean, you will be thrown out of the class. In fact, there was one federal law passed that students who ask too many questions may be taken out of the program in the US. So
See, I have given one lecture, no, the Veda and the concept of cosmology. How my student bombarded me 4 questions.
right,
I couldn't answer that. See, that is the thing, Indian system.
yeah,
Very good system.
yeah, it says Munya sadhu prishtoham bhavat lokamangalam yat kripa krishna samprashno yenat vasu prasiditi. So thank you so much, Dr. Raja, for coming on the show and making this wonderful presentation. And thank you for all the viewers who are watching it. Do subscribe and let us know your feedback. Your comments are more important than anything else on this show. Namaste.
Namaskar.